MRecktv.
I'm good, man. I appreciate, you know what I mean? You allowing me, blessing me with the opportunity to be on a M.Reck TV. You one of the legends, you know what I mean, as far as with this podcasting. I mean, is this IG, is it different from your YouTube one?
Well, when I go live on IG, I repost it to my YouTube, so it's one and the same to me. I could have been live on IG and YouTube at the same time. But,
okay.
I didn't want to deal with all the technical stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's get too technical. So we're gonna focus. We live on IG. I didn't want it to be too complicated for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to go live with me on Skype, but I said, yo, let's do IG. Everybody know how to work IG. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
Thanks for tapping in on my show. This is IG Live with M.Reck. I got a special guest, Charlie Rock LD, people. Salute to the Wreck Mob. Now, Charlie Rock LD, who are you?
I'll be that OG, original Terror Squad. And when I say original Terror Squad, remember, we had the rappers, and then we had the original Terror Squad, you know? So, you know, Big Pun shouted me out on his album, and he himself also addressed me as an original Terror Squad, you know?
Got you. Now, let's go into that. Original Terror Squad, and you said you got the rappers that's Terror Squad. What's the difference? Let's go into that.
Well, the difference is that the original Terror Squad is the street crew.
Okay.
When we was so young, when we was all shorties, we was in Forest Projects. I'm sure y'all heard Joe always shouting out Forest Projects. So, you know, we was the little Puerto Rican crew that we used to stick together. We was all, you know, teenagers. We was youngins. You know, we all met at high school, and we used to hang out at Forest Projects, and, you know, everybody grew in their own right. And, you know, a lot of hood legends, OGs, a lot of dudes, you know, got murdered repping for Terror Squad. A lot of dudes is doing forever in prison. Like, you know, it was serious to be an original Terror Squad, man.
So now,
so
the original Terror Squad, that wasn't started by Fat Joe.
No, he was part of it. Yes, he didn't start it, but he was definitely part of it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so now, who are the original Terror Squad members, the street crew? Who are, if you could name them?
I mean, there's a lot. There's like about maybe 30 or 40 of them. There was Crime, Kendu, myself, Tony Montana, rest in peace, Ski, rest in peace, Ding Ding, you know what I mean? Joe, you know, and there was just a whole bunch of us. So years later, Joe started rapping. He got the opportunity to get his own rap crew, and he blessed them with the Terror Squad name. That's how the rappers came about.
Got you. Now
that's where Big Pun and Cuban and Remy and Khaled, you know, we love them and all that, but you know, they the rappers Terror Squad. They was not part of the original.
Got you. So you from the BX, right?
All day.
Okay. What part?
The South. What do you mean what part, Rap? The South.
Gotta ask these questions. You know, my people.
I hear you. The South, the X.
Tapped into me. So they want to know. Some people don't know you got the Bronx, South Bronx, and
you're right. But South Bronx, Trinity Ave, Brook Ave, Cypress, St. Anne's, all that.
Got you. So, at what age did you and Fat Joe connect?
What we met in what? Right before high school. We met up really in Morris High School. So I done got kicked out of like 5 high schools in 2 years. So I finally made my way up to Morris High School. And, you know, that's where I met a lot of, not just Joe, but the infamous Boy George, you know, who was the ill kingpin, you know, Chicky from the Boulevard, which is another, you know, another legendary dude. And, you know, and we all met up in Tony Montana. You know, we all met up in Morris High School.
So around early teens, like 13 to 15, something like that?
About 15, 14, you know what I mean? About that era, yeah.
Got you. I do remember you saying Fat Joe said he had beef with Boy George. Boy George.
Little Joey. Joey be capping, man. You know what I mean? That's my ex-brother. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but he is the cap king, man. The homie said he had beef with Boy George. I mean, Boy George was so notorious. You know, the dude was so dangerous. Like, he's one of the original BX hood, not legend, but kingpin. The dude got locked up in '88. We're in 2023, and the homie still locked up. Damn. That's how hard he was giving it up.
Damn.
I believe they gave him a triple life bid.
Wow.
For those that don't know, I got my own podcast, Repping the Real. I got the crazy stories. I talk about Boy George, you know, all type of legends from the '80s, and I got the crazy stories over there, man.
No doubt.
But yeah, we met up in Morris High School, you know.
Got you. So, what kind of dude was Fat Joe in high school?
I mean, he was your regular shorty, you know, like all of us, we wanted to be that dude, you know. We was impressioned by the older OGs, and we wanted to be that dude, you know. And, you know, Joe was all right, but, you know, he just be capping too much when he, you know, puts too much emphasis on, you know, locking blocks down and moving weight and all that. Like, you know, that wasn't little Joey, nah.
So let me get this straight. Fat Joe been capping since high school?
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. I mean, if y'all remember, Joe just dropped a book, the Book of Jose.
Okay.
So in the Book of Jose, he tells the ill stories of Charlie Rock, how I was the one that showed him the ropes. You know what I mean? I gave him his first burner. I got him his first piece of buns. Like, you know, he was my little son. You know, I had mad love for him. You know, I used to take care of the little homie. I'm not saying he was a punk and he was a sucker. Like, you know, if there was a fight, he'll fight. You know, I'm not saying he was a total coward. I'm just saying there's different levels of putting in work. You feel me? And, you know, and it is what it is. Got you.
Yo, hold on 1 second. It's crazy. I'm doing this interview. I'm hearing some air horns. Hold on 1 second, Kim. Like,
yeah, man, do you?
I'm about to bark on them. Hold on.
I want to salute everybody in the chat. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, yo, stop blowing them fucking air horns.
Pete, I see you, Pete.
They can see me doing the interview. Well, he don't know I'm doing the interview, but cut that shit out. But anyhow,
so Joe bigged me out crazy in the Book of Jose, you know. He tells the stories how he had 100 dudes in front of his house, and he called me and he said C popped up looking like the Terminator, wearing a trench coat in the middle of summer, you know. I air shit out, like, you know what I mean, like the crazy war stories. But it is what it is. That's who I was.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you get publishing?
Did I get what?
Because he wrote a book, and if he wrote so many stories on your life, on your behalf, did you get publishing? Did you get...
No, this is what he did. He doesn't mention Charlie Rock LD. He mentions C. He put C, but C that was on Brook Avenue, and, you know, and this and that. I mean, everybody know who C is. You know, he done shouted me out on like 20 albums. You know, so, you know, dudes know who the hell C is.
No doubt. So we're going to get right to it because we're going to do plenty of interviews. Me and you locked in. But I got to know, where did it go wrong with you and Fat Joe? Where did it go wrong?
I mean, at 18 years old, I got locked up, you know what I mean, for a couple of them bodies. And I could have got 5 or 6 years, man. You know, but I had to turn states. There was no way. That wasn't even a compromise. So everybody knows I didn't rat. I stood there and took a 10 to 20. And it is what it is.
Gotcha.
So I'm doing the bid. While I'm doing the bid, I think I had like 4, maybe 5 years in. He comes to see me telling me he's going to be a rapper. So I'm like, a rapper? He's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to be a rapper. So I'm like, all right, my brother, you know, then rap. What the heck? You know what I mean? And hence, that's when he became Fat Joe the Rapper and started rapping. Yeah. So, but, you know, my bid was a 10 to 20. Out of the 10 to 20, I did a CR, which was 13 years and 4 months. And, you know, all this time, He'll come to see me a couple of times a year. You know what I mean?
That's real.
And you know, he'll be like, Charlie, when you come home, you good. When you come home, you good. I got you. He would big me up in his music. You know what I mean? And he would always, you know, big me up. So at the time, I thought that this was my brother. He loved me. And, you know, this is why he was showing me love and bigging me up.
Got you.
It wasn't until I came home that I seen that the love just wasn't there. That in reality, what he was doing was using me for my street cred. Like, okay, I ain't the livest dude, but my brother Charlie Rock LD is. You know what I mean? And plus, my name was ringing.
Yes, though, not to cut your wisdom, but to the industry, he always told the industry he was the livest dude. Because I remember him saying, you know, Fat Joe is the realest, this, that, and the third.
Yeah, well, a lot of people say a lot of things. You know what I mean? We all know that the rappers like to portray that they street dudes, that they have credibility. I mean, everybody from 50 to Jay-Z to Busta, but they all say what? I'm official, I'm a street dude, I used to move weight, I used to put in that work. Like, this is the persona that the rappers like to embellish.
Got you.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, who anybody that's a rap fan knows that that's the persona that they like to embellish. So this is why I believe that he used me for my street cred, my reputation, and the fact that, you know, your boy was known for putting in the crazy work.
All right, so let's do this. I do recall you mentioning you got into a situation in jail over the 50 Cent and Terror Squad beef, the G-Unit Terror Squad beef.
Hells yeah. So this is what happened. I came home in 02. What was it? 03, 04, I caught a parole violation. So I'm doing, I think it was like an 18-month violation. And while I'm doing the violation is when this G-Unit Terror Squad beef is popping off. You know what I mean? So, you know, we in the yard, and one of them award shows came on. I forgot which one it was, where Joe said some slick shit about 50, and 50 came back and said some slick shit about Joe.
The awards. I think
it was in 05. It was in 05. The crazy podcast. You already know. Y'all gotta peep it. So
yeah, hold on. Let me tell that person I'm live, and they messing up the live. Hold on one second, brother. Yeah, keep shouting your peoples out.
So yeah, you know what I mean? You already know. Peep the channel out. The channel got over close to 2 million views. We banging them right now. I got the crazy epic stories. Do not think all I talk about is Fat Joe. No way. I got the crazy epic stories, surviving solitary confinement, you know what I mean? OGs, legends from the 80s, holding out Tupac. You know, Joe has sent me a kite to hold Tupac down in Clinton. So I got the crazy stories. So y'all got to peep them out on YouTube, repping the real.
Yeah, pardon me. Yeah, where was we at, my brother? I'm sorry.
With the 50 Cent Fat Joe beat.
Oh yeah, let's go back to that. The MTV Awards, I believe. You said yo was watching the awards, right? Now going to
so we watching the awards. Joe said what he said, 50 said what he said, and dude started getting crazy hype. You know, on some, you know, they was from Queens or whatever, so they begging 50 up, whatever. We in the yard, so you know, dudes is, you know, everybody's hot. You know what I mean? Everybody think they that dude, whatever. So they was basically testing the waters because they knew I was leaving in 4 months. I was only doing a violation. So they started talk. So they was talking the ill shit about Joe. At the time, he was my brother. You know what I mean? And I didn't look at Joe as a rapper. You know, I wasn't no fucking fan. I just finished telling you, you know, me and this dude grew up. We got crazy history. So I didn't see him as a fucking rapper. You know, that was my brother. And you know, I'm just a loyal dude like that. No way is you gonna talk bad about somebody that I love and care about in my presence. It's just not going down like that.
Gotcha.
So of course I got emotional. I pulled out the ice pick and I banged one of them in the neck. We got into the crazy, you know, knife fight in the yard. And you know, it was me against 3 or 4 of them or whatever, and I got stabbed in the eye.
Damn.
So I'm blind. I'm talking to you blind in one eye over the Fat Joe 50 Cent beat.
Nuts. That's
so I come home, and this dude Joe tell me, yo, I need you to be home a year before we can hang out and be cool again and this and that. Like, this is the type of person he was. Like, he liked to control everybody, you know? And I figure, like, I never disrespect you or whatever, but I talk to you like you my brother. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to talk to you like you Fat Joe the rapper and you got millions and you're famous. And nah, my brother, then you my brother. What? I'm not going to kiss your ass and be your yes man and all that. You know what I mean? And we kept bumping heads behind shit like that. Like, I guess he just wanted me to snap in line with everybody else being a yes man and, you know, and doing what he says and all that. So Joe got this thing with that anybody in the crew, if they do something that he don't approve of or he don't like, he'll exile you for a year. I mean, he did it to Raul. He did it to Fat Ant. He did it to Macho and a couple of other dudes. Like, this is his little thing of keeping dudes in line. You know, he'll isolate you for a year, no communication, no hanging out, no nothing. And this is his little power tripping. You know, this is who he is.
Got you. Well,
so he thought I was going to go for that. And I told him, fuck you, eat a dick. And I was out of there. So again, he didn't kick Charlie Rock out. Charlie Rock left. There's a big difference, you know?
Got you. Got you.
So yeah, so your boy is talking to you right now with one headlight, defending his honor. And I come home and he hit me with the BS. Like, yo, the last thing he told that I was going to tell him F you and keep it moving. And that's exactly what your boy did. You know?
Wow. What year did you get locked up? I'm trying to understand.
I went in 88.
88, wow.
November 25th, a Friday on 88. And I came home in 2002.
Okay, you came home in 2002. So when you came home, Fat Joe was already Fat Joe, of course.
Right, no, he was already made. Pun was already gone. The Terror Squad was on the scene. Like, Joe was a major figure.
Yeah, when Pun had passed away in 2000.
Pun passed away in 2000, that's right.
Yeah, wow. So what is your relationship with the other Terror Squad members, the rappers and stuff like that?
What, as far as now?
I mean, just back then when you came home, what was it like when you came home, when you first came home?
I came home and went straight to the top general spot. The dude that was holding that spot down was Full Flex. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? I G-checked him my second day home because, you know, he just wasn't trying to bow down. I'm like, my man, I just did almost 15 years. You know what I mean? You're not going to talk to me. And I know you from back in the days. You wasn't popping off like that. So you've been bluffing these dudes. You've been bluffing these dudes for the last 10 years. But the big dog is home now, you know? So I basically backed out on him, you know, pistol whipped him a couple of times. And Joe was like, yo, just don't shoot him, Charlie. Don't shoot him. So I went straight to the top general spot. You know what I mean? But, you know, it is what it is. You know, everybody fell in line. My first priority was always Joe. And, you know, and Joe could never say nothing negative about Charlie Rock. He could never say that I disrespected him. He could never say I stole from him. He could never say I was disloyal. Like, he got nothing negative to say about Charlie Rock.
Got you. So when you came home, you inherit a lot of Fat Joe's beef.
I went right into it head on. What
were some of the beefs, if you can recall? What were some of the rap beefs?
I mean, I don't want to mention names, but, you know, I done pulled up on dudes threw him in trunks, took him over to see Joe, and Joe was shook. Like, no, Charlie, chill. We not in the 80s, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just let him go. Let him go. You know what I mean? Like, it was serious like that, Reck. This was my brother.
You talking about rappers? You ain't got to name names. You ain't got to name it. You talking about rappers?
It was one rapper and a couple of other side dudes. Yeah, I pulled up on them early.
And threw him in the trunk. Wow.
Threw him in the trunk. Took him to Joe's house with these dudes in the trunk, telling him I got something for you. Popped the trunk and Joe got shook. He was shook. He was like, yo, what are you doing? You crazy.
Yo, you the truth. You the truth. Oh man, that's live. That's live. That's the type of dude I want in my circle. That's live.
And he didn't appreciate M.Reck. He didn't appreciate none of that, man.
Yeah.
He didn't appreciate the bond that we had. He didn't appreciate the love that I had for him. He didn't appreciate the brotherhood, the loyalty. Reck, I was punching dudes in the face, in the penile, for trying to tell me that Biggie was a better rapper than Joe.
Ooh, say word.
That's how your boy was giving it up. I done punched a few dudes in the yard in the face for trying to tell me that Biggie was a better rapper than Joe. I mean, that's just how I was giving it up. That's my brother. I ain't trying to hear nothing.
Dudes love Big. Dudes love Big. You know what I'm saying?
I got love for Big, but at the time, you know, Joe was my favorite rapper. That was my brother. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Yo, you bringing Big up, I want to ask you this, because Fat Joe mentioned he did a whole...
The Cap King. Joe is the Cap King. Like, I don't understand how Joe, I mean, he got to know that we know that he's lying. Like, he got to know this. I mean, I never knew him to do drugs. That's one of the things I always respected about Joe. Joe never smoked weed. You know, he never did no hard drug. Even back then, he never smoked weed, like, you know. But nowadays, I'm starting to think he must be on something. The homie went online and said he did an album with Biggie Smalls. Puffy produced it, but it never dropped and nobody never heard it. What the fuck?
Yo, look, he said it was a whole album with him and Big.
Yeah. He said it was a whole album. I think he said they did like 4 or 5 songs. Puffy produced the songs, but it never dropped, and nobody never heard the album. Nobody never heard it. Is this dude wilding or what? Like, I could be here for 5 hours with the capping that this man be doing. Like, he really forgets that people know him from back then. Like, he's rich and famous. He's rich and famous. So I guess he feel he could say whatever he wants, and the average dude is gonna believe him. And he don't realize that there's a million dudes like myself that know him from back then, and we know you wasn't doing the shit you saying, my man. You wildin'.
Wow, crazy.
Like, he's really wildin'.
Crazy. Man, this is. Oh, you brought up a time when you, Fat Joe, Remy, and all the Terror Squad members went to Mike Tyson's house.
I had a G-Check Mike Tyson. I got another, again, repping the real. Charlie Rock LD, G-Checking Mike Tyson. Y'all gotta peep that. So, you know, we was at, you want me to tell the story?
Hell yeah.
All right, so we was on tour. What year it was? I forgot what year it was, but this was a while ago. We was on tour. That was actually the first time we drove from the Bronx all the way to Cali, to Vegas. That was actually my first time in Cali, so I was mad excited. So the tour bus broke down in Vegas. So we had to wait a few days for the next tour bus to come. So we just hanging out in the hotel. The homie Mike Tyson, on the low, was the ill Fat Joe fan. So he heard Fat Joe was in town. He sent over 2 SUVs to pick us up, and he invited us to his house to, you know, hang out, have a meal, and just shoot the shit. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, you know, I was all for it. Who don't want to meet Mike Tyson? You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, let's go. So it was Remy, me, Raul, Sunshine, you know, the whole squad. There was like about 8 of us. So we jump in the trucks. We go to Mike Tyson's house. Mike Tyson is crazy for real. For anybody that never met Mike Tyson in person, the homie is 7'30", 7'30".
I know that. That's a fact.
So listen. So Mike Tyson greets us at the door, butt naked with a little white towel on.
Pause.
The homie straight naked. All he got is a little white towel. You know, you could tell he's naked because he got a little white towel. So I'm looking, I'm like, nah, this dude is bugged out. I liked him already off the top. You know what I mean? I'm like, this nigga crazy. All right, we're going to get along just fine. So he had a personal chef. So the personal chef was hooking up a meal. In the process, he's giving us a tour of his house. Beautiful house. Beautiful, beautiful house. I've been in many celebrities' houses, and the only house I could say that was nicer than Mike Tyson at that time was P. Diddy. I also been in Puffy's house, you know?
Got you.
So anyway, Mike Tyson, beautiful house. He's giving us the tour. So the chef finally hooks up the meal. We all sit down at the table to enjoy the meal, you know? And we eating, you know, dudes are talking, little chit-chat here and there, whatever, whatever. The homie Mike Tyson come out of left field, looks at Remy Martin, and tells Remy in front of all of us, yo, Rem, I got 15 stacks for you. Why don't you spend the night?
Wow.
Straight like that. Straight like that. The ill shit is that Joe and everybody else started laughing like it was a joke. I got crazy offended. You know she's our sister. You're not only disrespecting her, you disrespecting us. I'm an old school dude. That's the way I see it. I don't care whether you a nigga in the yard or whether you Mike Tyson. You understand me? How you gonna proposition our sister?
You was ready to get busy with Mike.
Listen, so I get up, I step to Mike, and I told him, yo, Mike, peep this. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but you're not gonna talk to my sister like that. You know what I mean? She ain't no hood rat, whole bitch. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? So he looked at me. First of all, I could tell he was perplexed. Like, I guess nobody never stepped to him like that. You know what I mean? And that's how it be. You know, when you're a ruthless dude, you're not used to dudes talking to you like that. So I'm sure.
What did Mike say when you said that?
I'm going to tell you. You want to hear the story or not?
Yeah.
I'm telling you the story. Listen. So I said what I said. He looks me dead in the face. And I guess at that moment he realized he was looking at somebody that was just as crazy to G-check him in his own house. Not only Mike Tyson, but in his own house at the fucking dinner table. So he looked at me. He tilted his head. He was like, yo, that's your sister like that? I'm like, you damn right that's my sister like that. And you ain't going to talk to her like that.
So when you said that,
what
did Joe say?
What happened?
When you said that to Mike, what did Joe say at that time?
They all quiet. They all church mouses. Like, they can't believe I'm stepping to Mike. They was all laughing like it was a joke, like they was giving him a pass. Wow. How you going to give this dude a pass? This is our sister. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson or a dude on the street, you're not going to disrespect my sister. You wildin'. You know, so I guess Joe just started laughing. He either didn't give a fuck about what he said about Remy, or I mean, I don't know what he thought. All I know is that they was all laughing like, ha, ha, he, and I was offended. So anyway, so Mike looks at me. He's like, that's your sister like that? I'm like, that's right. That's my sister. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that he got shook of me. I do not believe that he was scared. No way. You know, I'm not saying that I shook him. I'm not saying that he was scared. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that he respected my gangster.
Got you.
He looked at it for what it was. I was stepping up for my sister. And he respected that. You know? So he gracefully bowed down, extended his hand, and he said, I hear you, Charlie Rock. You know what I mean? And we shook hands, and he said nothing more. He went, he sat down, and we finished having the meal.
Got you. Now, after that happened, what did Remy say to you?
Remy was in love. She was happy. She's like, thank you, Charlie Rock, for stepping up for me. You know what I mean? Like, how these dudes is going to let that dude just disrespect me? Like, she was loving. You know, I look at Rem like a little sister, Breck. You know, she's my little sister. You know what I mean? I don't look at her, these people as Remy the rapper and all that. We a family. Or at least that's how I was looking at it. You know, obviously Joe wasn't looking at it like that. Charlie Rock was looking at it like, this is my family. I'm holding them down. That's my position. I'm gonna protect them to the fullest. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this is my mentality. This is the way I'm coming from.
Got you.
So again,
yeah, that moment that she showed you love for stepping up for her, I believe you said y'all got tighter. Your relationship.
Yeah.
Go into that.
I became her road manager. You know what I mean? After that, I became her road manager. And, you know, and I was holding her down. And, you know, we bonded even closer. The way you would with the little hood chick in the block that the dudes on the block is trying to get at her, and you step up and defend her.
Back.
She gonna show you the mad love, like, yo, thank you. You know,
Back.
she was mad appreciated, which is what she was supposed to do. You know what I mean? So to this day, I got love for Rep. I mean, nowadays she probably got amnesia. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But salute to Remy Ma. Charlie Rock still got mad love for you. You my sister. And, you know, and congratulations on all your success, man.
Now, you saying that she probably got amnesia, do you think it's because her loyalty to Joe that she's trying to keep a distance?
I mean, I wouldn't call it loyalty, you know, because loyalty to me is something totally different. But, you know, she's eating right now. She's on a different level. And, you know, I understand. I'm a smart dude. I understand. You know, you're not trying to fuck your bread up. I mean, how would it look like with the shit that me and Joe was going through, and she's reaching out to me, hanging out with me and all that? So, you know, I could relate. I could relate.
That's what I'm saying. You know, due to her loyalty to Joe, she got to probably just keep a distance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could relate. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't mad at her. I just finished saluting her and congratulating her. You know, it is what it is. She got her family. She got to look out for her family. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not mad at the sister. That's my sis, Ram. Yeah. I will still check Mike Tyson for her.
Oh, no doubt. That's major right there. Salute to Ram, salute to Pat. But also, as of recently, you saluted Wack 100. Let's go into that.
Now, first of all, I really had no idea who Wack. I heard of him, yeah. I didn't do my homework on him before I saluted him to find out what type of dude he was, what type of reputation he was. And to be honest, I didn't care about none of that. I was just happy that Pun wife was getting a bag. You know, Charlie Rock, I love Big Pun. That's my brother. You know what I mean? The way I was looking at it, some people be like, oh, he's clout chasing. He's this. No, I was happy that Pun's wife was getting a bag. Yeah. We all heard how Wack gave it up in his first interview, talking about, you know, he looked out for her, he pushed buttons, got her a deal. You know what I mean? Joe stole $4 million from her. Yeah. You know, he didn't have to talk to Joe. Who the hell is Joe? Like, this is the energy he was putting out. So I was saluting him on the strength of that. Like, you know, thank you for having the balls. You know what I mean? And not being shook of Joe. He took it out of content. He said that I said that I was saluting him for stepping up to Joe. I didn't say that. If you hear the interview, I did not say salute you to stepping up for Joe. What I said was salute for not being intimidated by Joe and still helping her out. Because the truth is that for many, many years in the industry, a lot of people have been cock blocking Liza Rios because they don't want to be on Fat Joe's bad side. She's Big Pun's wife. How is she not eating?
Correct.
You know what I mean? This dude made Joe millions. Not only did he make him millions, but he put Terror Squad on the map.
That's a fact.
Big Pun put the squad on the map. And for those that don't know, I'm the Charlie Rock LD that Big Pun shouted out on Capital Punishment. And the first thing he said was, up north in his 9th year because his lips don't flap. You know what I mean? So, again.
Big Pun. Rest in peace, Big Pun.
Rest in peace to Pun. I got him tattooed. I even did a tribute song for Pun. I ain't even a rapper, and I made a tribute song for Pun. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it is. Y'all could peep that on my YouTube page.
That's what's
But anyway, back to the Wack dude. Like I said, the only reason I bigged him up crazy like that, because I was happy that the Rios family was finally gonna, you know, not only get a bag, but according to Wack and that interview, they're gonna have the Big Pun story told. So that's my brother. So I'm like, not only
biopic, the Big Pun biopic.
Right. So not only did he get the Rios family a bag, but they're gonna put Big Pun's name out there. Like, I believe Pun should be mentioned in the same breath as Biggie and Pac.
Correct.
I believe Big Pun, if anybody disagree, hit me up in the fucking comments. But I believe the homie Big Pun, you know, he gave it up. He didn't just, I mean, let's be real. Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls, Tupac, none of them banged them double platinum in their first album. Let's be real.
That's
Jay-Z, his first album did not go double platinum. Tupac, his first album. I love these dudes. Respect. I'm not disrespecting nobody. I'm just making a statement. Big Pun mashed them double platinum. Not only that, Pun dropped the same month as DMX.
Yeah.
For those that don't know.
Yeah, it was around the same time. I think Pun dropped the end of April. DMX dropped.
They both dropped. Listen, you know how I remember? Because I seen my first board that year. They dropped in May of '98. I see my first board that year. So that's like a birthday. You never forget when you see your board. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So, you know, and then on top of all of that, Pun made history. He was the first Latin to go platinum.
There you go. That's a
so
fact.
Not only was his album a classic, but it's a historical album because he was the first. I mean, when we go back into the history of rap, you know, we have the first female that went platinum, the first group that went platinum, the first, you know, whatever. Pun was the first Latino to mash some platinum. So my point is, it's a historical album. Salute to Big Pun. And your boy Charlie Rock was on that album. You know what I mean? So I got nothing but love and respect for Pun. Yeah, so again, back to the homie Wack. So we finish it up because I really don't want to go back and forth with the Wack thing.
Yeah.
So I saluted him. I said what I said. 48 hours later, the homie Wack hits us with the remix. He hit us with the remix. The nigga thought he was Puffy. He hit us with the remix. Hold on.
Yo, shout out to Cuban Link. He in the room. Salute. Cuban, holla.
Salute to the homie Link. Link, what it is. The Marialito, you already know.
Make, hit me in the DM with your math. I got a bill with you, Link. We've been with you. But anyhow.
So let me finish. Hold up. So I saluted him crazy. That was this week. 48 hours later, he hit us with the ill remix. You know, again, he was like, F Fat Joe, I didn't have to talk to him. He stole $4 million and all this. Wow. Then he hits us 48 hours later. He's like, Fat Joe's my BFF. He done brought meals for me and my team. And what else he said? When he's in the area, we play dominoes. And you know, like he was just sucking them off. So I'm like, where did your energy go, my man? You know, where did your energy go? In 48 hours, you went from, you know, F Fat Joe, I ain't had to talk to him. He robbed $4 million. He said he gave her $1 million and he didn't. Like, you dogging the dude. 48 hours later, you like, oh, he's my BFF. You know what I mean? We play dominoes together. And you know, what type of bullshit is that, Brad?
Trust me, when he was saying kill a narrative and all that, I was like, this dude remixing. You know what I mean?
He's wild, and so I had to hit him with the getting at him. You know what I mean? And all I said was what I'm saying now. What happened to your energy, my man? Like, you know, how did you go from, you know, F Fat Joe and all this crazy stuff, and you got the Rios family the bag to the, you know, oh, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. He hit us with an ill remix. So I had to blaze them. I had to blaze them.
So let me ask you this. After you did your video responding to Wack changing his energy, did he reach out to you? Did y'all talk?
No, we ain't talk. He did another interview. This is what really got me not upset, because I never allow nobody to get me upset. You know what I mean? Because when you allow a man to rent space in your mind, he has power over you. And I'm too gangster for that. So I wasn't upset, but I was disappointed, because he came on talking about, oh, some dude named, I don't know who he is, some dude named Charlie Rock. He was saluting me for stepping to Fat Joe. I had to correct him because I didn't step to Fat Joe and this, that, and the other. And, you know, and I wasn't feeling that. He even went as far as to playing what I said on his live.
Got you.
And he was like,
on his club.
I mean, you did the remix. You put a video out. You know what I mean? Saying what I said.
Yeah, yeah. He said it on his clubhouse. He did.
He said it on his clubhouse. Like, you know, I'm bigging you up, and you telling me, or you know, he made it seem like I was cloud chasing, like I'm nobody, and I'm just coming out of left field, saluting him so I can get my views up. So that's why I explained in the video, no, I'm that dude. And I explained in the video who I was. You know, Big Pun shouted me out. I did 20 years, didn't rat on my homie, losing the eye over 50. You know, I wasn't glorifying my situation. You know what I mean? I was just explaining, letting them know who the OG be.
Gotcha.
And again, I want to state something, Reck. I'm no longer that person. You know, if you guys have been following Charlie Rock LD, y'all know I'm on some real positive stuff today. I opened up a company called Prison Mentality, which is a life coaching company for the formerly incarcerated and their family. I coach guys coming out of prison with X amount of years in, and I help them make the transition back into society. You know, shake that institutional jail mentality mind off and all that. You know what I mean? Like helping them with the reform back into society. I coach women that are in relationship with guys in prison so they can understand their mindset, so they know how to deal with them better. I've done coach mothers that thought that they failed their son because he kept coming in and out of jail. You know what I mean? And she thought as a mother, she failed them. And, you know, and I coach them like, no, you wasn't a bad mother. What happened was this, this, and this. And, you know, and I break it down. That's what a life coach is. I'm a life coach.
Salute on that.
I'm also a member of the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Connecticut. I mentor the young kids. You know, every other week I hang out with a shorty that's 13 years old, and he don't know I'm Charlie Rock LD. He calls me Fernando, because that ain't the time to play Charlie Rock LD. You know what I mean? That's totally irrelevant. That's not the time to be G'd up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help the little home and be a mentor, a big brother. That's what it is, a big brother.
No doubt.
So, you know, it is what it is. I don't want people to think that I'm glorifying being a G, and when I tell my stories, I'm not like trying to like, you know, co-sign them and be like, you know what I mean? You know, this is what you need to be. No, I share my stories, not to glorify them, but to show you that if a dude that was giving it up like I was can turn it around, so can you, my man.
Fact.
You know, that's my little mission.
Now, being that you had responded to Wack, and I think I seen something where you said his peoples reached out to you to get on Clubhouse, something like that.
Yeah. Somebody from his camp hit me up on my email, and they said that Wack was interested in having me on his show.
The
true story.
The 100 ENT show, the 100 ENT show on Club, right?
I believe that's what it was. Yeah, the 100 Club show, whatever show it was. I answered them back immediately. I'm good. You know, Charlie Rock LD, repping the real. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. You're not going to use me, you know, to just talk shit and get your views up and all that. That's not me. That's not who I be. All my supporters that peep me on repping the real, they know that my podcast is like no other. The only negative dude I talk about is the Hassa. The Hassa's, a.k.a., you know, Cap and Joe. And, you know, my podcast isn't about what's hot at the moment and all that. I talk about life issues. I talk about prison issues, my experiences. I speak about my drug addiction that I went through and, you know, how I got up out of that. Like, it's a real positive channel, you know?
Got you. I need to ask you this. Was you around the time when Terror Squad and Rockefeller?
Nah. Again, remember, I came home in 02, Wreck.
Yeah, you're right. You did
I
say
came
that.
home in 02. Pun already had passed. The Terror Squad, the Cuban, you know, all that already had passed. That's another thing. I came home and, you know, Joe did a show the other day, whatever, talking about that I was upset because I wanted to be him and I used to be the man and I'm only bullshit. That was no way. You know what I mean? That's not what it was. First of all, myself, I didn't understand that I was institutionalized. You know, today I have the knowledge to find out what I was going through. A brother do 13, 14 years, Wreck, you're not going to come home and all of a sudden you back to a civilian. You know, that's called being institutionalized. It's a process to get that out your system. So I'm saying that to say this. When I came home in 02, I had no idea that I was institutionalized. Joe himself didn't know how to deal with me. You know what I mean? So I understand that he didn't understand. You feel me? I don't know if you could relate with that statement.
I got you.
But, you know, it is what it is. Like, I was going through shit that I didn't understand, he didn't understand, and we didn't know how to deal with it.
Got you. Now, let me ask you this, because I like to try to bring resolution to situations. Is it any way you and Fat Joe can resolve this? Yeah. No.
Nah, I don't think so. I really don't. I wouldn't want to go there. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at you, homie. You know what I mean? No, it is what it is. And I'm saying now what I say in all my other videos. You know what I mean? You did what you did. You know my hand didn't call for that. I'm not upset at you. You know, it is what it is. You are who you are. You know, today I'm proud of the person I am. I'm a positive pillar in my community. I'm actually more happier and more content than I was when I was with him. And you know, I look at it like this. If a dude do you dirty, you're not going to give him a second chance to do you dirty again. You know, I'm an old school dude. That's how I think. I showed you nothing but love and loyalty. Again, Fat Joe cannot say nothing negative about Charlie Rock. Nothing.
Definitely.
And you did me dirty. So I'm not going to give you an opportunity to do me dirty again. I prefer to just let bygones be bygones. You know, you do your lane, I do my lane, and you know, and it is what it is.
I see the homie Panda Chop News is in the building. Cuban Link is in the building. See a lot of
That's what's up.
shots to my brother Lewis, he in the building. You know what I mean?
Salute to Panda Chop. Panda Chop, the remix king.
Yo, I set off that Fat Joe loop yesterday because everybody, it went over everybody's head. That
Which one?
Speaking on the whole Creed 3 movie.
Yeah, he's wilding. Again, smoke screen. Another thing I want to talk about Fat Joe right quick. I call him smoke screen. My people walk with me on this one. There has been over 20 people that have had incidents with Fat Joe. Fat Joe comes on every time and he says the same story. Everybody's wrong and I'm right. The homie's never wrong. He's never wrong. Cuban Link, Charlie Rock, Remy Martin, Liza, Macho, Raul, his brother Ain't, like we can go on and on. He never once admit that he's wrong. The homie's never wrong. We're like, what are you, Jesus Christ, my man? Joe always has a story. He always has a story. You know, like no matter how much dirt they come up on him, smoke screen. I like to call him smoke screen. That's his new AKA. Because like I said, he's never wrong. part of being a man is you got to know, fuck about being an OG or being a gangster. Just being a man.
Correct.
My man, when you wrong, you wrong. Like, you know, we all make mistakes.
You gotta own up to shit when you a man.
There you go. You got to own up to your shit. You feel me, Reck? And I'm just saying, there's over 20 people that have had incidents with this dude. And these are all people in his circle, all people that were close to him, all people that did business with him. Like, you feel me where I'm going? Mm-hmm. And everybody's wrong except Joe. You wildin', my man.
Got you. Yo,
you got to know when to step up and take your medicine, homie.
I want to ask you this. When Remy Ma and Fat Joe clashed and they had that falling out and she went off on him, I think it was on the radio. Did you hear about that while you was in jail?
No, I was out.
Oh, you was out during this time?
Yeah. So the problem was that, let me walk you through it. I believe it was the second Terror Squad album was coming out. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of events Joe got for the album. It's a Terror Squad album. And I think he wanted to give Remy like $5,000 for the album. So of course she was tight. You know what I mean? So she wasn't trying to sign the contract to do the Terror Squad album.
Wow.
So unfortunately, somebody ran up on her and ate her food and cut her face. That's right. For those that don't know, Remy got her food ate in Castle Hill when she was living with her grandma. She got a little scar right here. That's right.
So hold on. I thought she got cut before she was with Terror Squad.
She was with Terror Squad, but she wasn't trying to sign the papers. Read in between the lines, homie.
I got you. But see, that plays into the whole Cuban Link thing. Wow.
Another nasty rumor he spread it about Cuban Link. That Cuban Link was trying to have sex with Pun's wife. The crazy lie. Again, smoke screen. Smoke screen. Your man smoke screen. I just finished explaining to you. Everybody he has an issue with, they wrong. He's the common denominator. Reck, walk with me on this, Reck.
Let's go back to the Remy thing now. So
let's go back to the Remy thing. Remy was getting other offers from, that's when she did the Annie Up and all that, so she was hot. So I believe her album had already dropped. But Joe, she wasn't satisfied how Joe was pushing her album. So that was the fallout between Remy and Joe.
Gotcha.
He was talking a good one, but financially he wasn't pushing her album. So her first single was who was her first single with? One of the R&B dudes who was on Def Jam.
Neo.
Huh?
Neo.
Her first single was the Jump Off with Neo. Neo was on Def Jam. Fat Joe is mad cool with the people at Def Jam. And I believe Rio didn't even come out in the video. Like, again, Remy felt that he just wasn't pushing her album. So that's where their fallout came in. If you remember, before she went to prison, she was gun-ho going at Joe. You know what I mean? And again, Remy was wrong, not Joe.
Now, let's do this. Because I don't want to seem like this is a Fat Joe bash campaign, because that was your brother at one time.
No, but we speaking facts, Reck. I'm not bashing him neither.
Right.
Like I say, I don't hate the dude. I'm not trying to talk shit about him, but we speaking facts, my man. We're not speaking, I'm not talking about what my man told me in the yard. I'm not speaking about what I heard on the internet. We talking facts.
Nah, definitely. What I'm saying is, because it'd be a lot of people just coming in right now, so I don't want them to get it misconstrued. Or somebody might take a clip of this, and if they do, don't put this on your YouTube without crediting me and Charlie Rock LD. You know,
and don't hit us with the remix. Don't hit us with the remix. That's what I'm saying. You know, keep it official. Again, we not bashing Joe. Exactly. It is what it is. We talking facts, my man. I mean, the homie Panda Chop did a story on the transcript of the lawsuit between Liza and Joe. Facts. Facts. Like black and white, Joseph Cartagena, Lisa Rios. He said that he gave her $1 million. The judge gave him 90 days to prove it. And in 90 days, he couldn't prove that he gave it $1 million. But yet he'll go online and said, I blessed her with $1 million. Facts. Facts. We're not talking BS here. So this is not the fact. This is not the Fat Joe bashing club. No, we're talking facts.
Got you. Well, let's do this now. Fat Joe did put Big Pun on. Correct, right?
Of course.
Now, also, I'm going to say this. Fat Joe is the only rapper in history. He held the umbrella for Big Pun when Fat Joe was Fat Joe. That, to me, I never saw nobody do that to this day.
He did a good job.
He would never do that. So I got to give credit to Joe.
We got to give him credit, but the truth is, again, facts. Nobody, including Joe, could dispute the fact that Pun was 1,000 times better than Joe.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Like, he had no choice, but salute to Joe. It's true. If it wasn't for Joe, we would have probably never heard of Big Pun. But does that mean that you know that you rope him for life? Does that mean that the homie passes away and his family is in a shelter reaching out to you, and he goes online and tells Liza, Ma, what you need to do is get a job and don't be worrying about my money. Facts. Joe went on Hot 97, and while Liza was explaining that she was in a shelter, he got on live. Like, we could look this up. You know what I mean? Facts. Yeah. And he told Pun's wife, live, Ma, what you need to do is get a job and don't be counting my money. People ain't going to take care of you just because you Big Pun's wife. That's what the homies said.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
But meanwhile, in the same breath, I love Big Pun. Big Pun is my brother. This, that, and the other. You know, it's Big Pun forever. And, you know, he shows love when it's convenient for him to show love. But you not being a real dude, homie.
Gotcha.
You supposed to take care of Pun's family. Forget about contracts. Forget about publishing. Forget about, you know, points. And forget about morally. He likes to talk about morals and, you know, character and honor, and you don't have the right to speak on that, my man, because that's not what you portray.
Got you. Now, let's do this, because I wasn't finished with my train of thought. He put Pun on, he put Remy on, he put Khaled on, he put Cool and Dre on, he put a lot of people on. And
no, not a lot of people. Cool and Dre and Khaled. And Remy, she's all right in her own right. But we talking about out of 20 dudes, you know what I mean? You jerk 17 and you put 3 on. And let's say another fact. All respect due to Khaled. I love Big Khaled. Khaled did not blow until he broke away from Joe. Do the math. There was a time for like 3 years that Khaled was not messing with Joe.
I remember that.
All right? Let's talk facts. There was like 2-3 years when Khaled was not messing with Joe. And that was the time when his ass blew. That's when he started dropping albums. That's when he became the producer he was and all that. So again, you know, salute to Joe. You know what I mean? You put Khaled on. But my man, just because you put a person on doesn't mean that they owe you for the rest of your life. Nah. Like they gotta feed you for the rest of your life.
Nah, you right.
That's all I'm saying, M.Reck. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying, again, I'm not bashing the dude. All I'm saying, he likes to talk about, oh, I'm the realest dude in the game. Nobody's realer than Joe, and this, that, and the other. And all I'm saying is, little Joey, I know you. And you're not as real as you think you are, my man.
Now, how do you feel about Fat Joe, the artist?
He used to be my favorite rapper. I told you, I done banged in the yard for dudes trying to tell me Biggie was better than him. As an artist, I've said this before. As an artist, as a businessman, I salute him.
Yeah, salute.
Because he has stayed relevant for over 20, 30 years, which is extremely hard in the industry.
So let's salute him on that.
Let's salute Joe on that. As a businessman, I salute you because you have stayed relevant in a game where, you know, even dudes like Ja Rule, 3-4 years and they gone. You know what I mean? Joe has stayed relevant in the game for over 20, even more years. So he's doing something right. So on a personal tip,
I think that Ja Rule was a bad analogy because Ja Rule's still doing stadiums. That's got like,
yeah, but his name is not out there. You know what I mean? I mean, he had a good 5-year run, but right now,
let's say this: Ja Rule did smoke. Ja Rule smoked Fat Joe in that verses.
Ja Rule is hot. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. I'm referring. Well, maybe I didn't explain myself right.
Yeah, now so.
What I was trying to express was longevity.
Got you.
You know, people, rappers, you know, very few of them. LL, Dr. Dre, correct. You know what I mean? Jay-Z. As far as longevity, Joe has had longevity.
Correct. Yeah,
even today, he don't got an album out, but he's everywhere. Why? I think that's another reason, but I'm not going to get into that one. You know what I mean? You know, it is what it is. The man don't even got a single out, but he's more famous now than he was when he was with Pun. What's going on? Again, let's read in between the lines.
Yeah, that's deep right there. Oh, man. So, do you even listen to Fat Joe music anymore, or is it rap?
Nah, I bang out to his music. I like his music.
Oh, wow.
Especially his older music. Jealous One's Envy. We Run This Shit was when I came home and I was actually at the end of the song talking shit with him and all that. Like, as an artist, I still appreciate him. Yeah, I listen to his music. You know, he's you know, like DMX. I'm a 90s 2000 guy. You know, I'm not really with the new school shut up. You know, the music I listen to today is like Pac, DMX, The Lox, Jigga, Joe, you know, Pun. And, you know, that's my genre. But I'm an older cat. You know, Charlie Rock ain't a youngin' no more. You know what I mean?
I'm a Fat Joe fan. I'm a fan of the music. I love Fat Joe older music. And even when he make those big records, like the So Excited with Drake, from Cool and Dre. That was
right.
You know what I'm saying? I just think Drake, when Drake was doing that hook, he was thinking of Drake because he sounded like Drake on that hook. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's still an ill record. It was a big record. So salute.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Again, salute to Cool and Dre.
Salute.
I still remember the day when Joe picked up Cool and Dre. They was living in a basement.
Say word.
Cool and Dre was living in a basement. They was from Miami. Joe must have seen something in him because he flew him into New York, put him up in a hotel, and they worked on this album. Which album was it? The album that went platinum. That's right. What was it? The Jose? That first time he ever went platinum.
Yeah, Jealous.
The executive.
I believe, right?
No, not Jealous One's Envy. Yeah, the Jose. Yeah. It was in 02 when I came home. Yeah. So again, Cool and Dre was the executive producer. So that's what really opened the doors for them to get into the game. So salute to Cool and Dre.
Salute.
Again, I remember when they was living in a basement. When Charlie Rock had to give.
Take us to that.
When Charlie Rock. What happened?
Take us to that story. Walk us through that.
Well, like I said, he flew him in. I think they were from Miami. And they had sent him a demo, whatever. And he took a gamble on them. You know, he took a gamble on them. And, you know, it paid off. Because Cool and Dre today is one of the hottest producers out there. They're both multimillionaires. They're both no name in the industry. But I remember you when you lived in a basement and Charlie Rock had to give you $100 so your guys could go have dinner. Salute to Cool and Dre.
Black TV in the building. Yeah, salute.
Salute to everybody in the comment. Again, repping the real, the hottest podcast out right now. The only one second to me is MRecktv. Repping the real, the hottest podcast. I got the crazy stories. Go on my YouTube channel.
Salute.
It's not all about Joe. I got the crazy content, all type of wow stories. It's not all about Joe. I got over 20 stories, and I think 4 of them was about Joe.
Now, being that you're a realist, and I love when people can be real and not.
You gotta be. I was raised in the penile, my brother. That's all I know. I call myself a DOC baby.
So when Fat Joe was thinking about getting in the music game, what was those conversations like?
I mean, at first, which is only normal, you know, I mean, remember, he was a street dude, you know, and he was making the crossover into the rap game. Again, he was smart enough to know that he wasn't going to bang out on the street forever, because we all know there's no OGs that have been banging out on the streets forever, and you 50 and you still around.
Right.
You either dying or you're doing 100 years in jail. You know what I mean? Anybody knows that. So I remember having conversations with him. He would come to see me on the visit to get advice from me. Like, this is how deep it was. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Because he knew I would give him the raw. And he knew I would talk to him as Joey, not Fat Joe the rapper.
Got you.
And whatever advice I gave him is what he needed to hear, not what he wanted to hear.
And what advice was that?
Well, I remember one time we had a conversation when Pun blew. You know what I mean? He was feeling a little iffy, and I remember his exact words. He was like, Charlie, we sitting on the VI, and he told me, Charlie, how can I tell this dude what to do and give him orders when he sells more records than me? Wow. And he's way more talented than me. I'm like, hold up, my nigga. Hold up. I G-checked him early. I was like, first off, you Joey Crack. The same way Puffy gives orders to fucking Biggie Smalls is the same way Fat Joe is going to give orders to Pun. Now and these were my exact words. As an artist, granted, he's better than you. It is what it is, but you have to get over that. Because today, you're not only an artist, you're an executive now. So you're not wearing the hat of an artist. You're wearing the hat of an artist, and you're wearing the hat of an executive. And this is your artist. So you have to act accordingly. Grab your nuts and bang out and do what you got to do. Don't let that intimidate you, my nigga. You know, and I would always give him the real. And, you know, we've had plenty of conversations like that.
That's what's up. That's ill that you, you know, gave him that guidance. Now, it was a time when Fat Joe was doing the Apollo, and he won the Apollo like 4 times in a row. Take us to that and explain, because I heard it was somebody from the hood or down with Terror Squad that paid a whole bunch of people to. You
heard that from me. I gave you that story.
Okay. Yeah, let's go into that. Let's go into that.
So, again, I was locked up already. But again, this is, Joe used to tell me everything. I would call him. So I'm saying that I wasn't home, but I knew what was going on because this is what he was telling me. So Joe told me he got an opportunity to go to the Apollo when it was Apollo night, right? So there was a plug back in the days that was that dude and had the money. And he knew Joe. So what this dude did was he rented 3 city buses, 3 Greyhound buses. His money was long, so he rented 3 Greyhound buses. He picked up all the hood dudes from the PJs, from the Bronx. He paid for all of them to go into the Apollo. And he told them, when Joe come on, you're going to go crazy. anybody else that come on, you're gonna boo them.
Wow. Wow. So,
and that's exactly what they did.
He gave Fat Joe the cheat code, the Apollo cheat
code. Of course.
Wow.
Of course. Now again, facts. You want to hear the back shit again? How your man Joey Cat, a few years after that, the same dude that pulled this power move again, winning the Apollo was the chip that got him the record deal. Because Red Alert was there. He heard the crowd going crazy for Joe. So they was like, this dude is crazy. You know what I mean? They feeling him. Red Alert hollered at Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty was the one that got Joe his record deal on Relativity on the strength of winning that thing a couple of weeks in a row.
Wow.
So this, I'm saying that to say this. That was a major pivoting point in his career. Let's go back to the plug.
Yeah, let's go back to the plug.
A few years after that, the homie gets locked up for whatever he was doing. He reaches out to Joe, you know, can you help a brother out? You know what I mean? And we already know. I don't think I got to explain it. You know, Joe was like, I can't help you. The same dude, like it's real like that, Rack.
Wow, that's crazy.
Disgusting. Disgusting. I just explained to you how this dude went out for him. The dude calls you a few years later. Joe didn't have millions and millions, but regardless, you owe this man. You owe him.
He got you on.
He got you on, so you owe this man. Just like he owed Pun, just like he owed Charlie Rock LD. And you know, and he never steps up to the plate, my man. You know, it is what it is.
Got you. Yo, during the time where when you came home, you said 2002, right? Okay. What year did Lean Back come out?
I believe it was not. Somebody said the air chop. They like when I do the air chop. Rock with your boy. We in the yard.
What year? Lean.
I believe Lean Back. Not Lean. What you said? Lean Back or Flojo?
No, Lean Back. Lean Back.
Oh, I was home for Lean Back.
That's what I'm saying.
What year was that? That was I believe it was 04, maybe 03. I'm not sure, but somewhere around that time.
So it was lit. Because Lean Back was a big record.
That was a mash. That was a mash. That was a mash. Eminem was on the remix.
Facts.
Eminem was on the remix. He bodied them with that.
The reason why,
like,
yeah,
Joe's good for a hit every now and then. He's good. He's got a good calendar.
Nah, he got hits. Joe got a lot.
He got hits. Joe got hits. Joe got hits.
Now, remember he said the Roy Jones line in the record.
And I remember.
Roy Jones stepped to him. I was trying to see if you was there when Roy Jones stepped to him.
I wasn't there that day, but I heard the story. They was in the VIP room. Roy Jones stepped to him, and he was trying to, you know, G-check Joe. But Joe was like 100 deep. And Joe told him, you might punch me in the face, but you ain't getting out this club, my man. You know what I mean? And, you know, and Roy Jones was smart enough to back up. And, you know, and they left it at that. But, nah, I wasn't there that day, nah.
Got you. Yeah, the line was, even Roy Jones was forced to lean back.
Even Roy Jones was forced to lean back. That's right.
And Roy Jones stepped to him and tried to G-check him.
He tried to G-check him. That's right. You know what I mean?
Yo, I see people in the comments saying, Little Joey!
Little Joey, I know you! Repping the Real, the merch is out. I need y'all to bang on the Repping the Real merch. Stop playing. Slot time. Slot time. Saturdays, 2 o'clock. That's our slot time.
That's a fact. Yo, Charlie Rock, man. Listen, this is going to be one of many. We've been rocking for over an hour.
That's what's up.
Just let them know you live on MRecktv. Say your name and you live on MRecktv.
You already know who I be. the homie, the OG C-Rock LD, and I'm banging on MRecktv. You know, the second hottest podcast out. We in the yard. Yo, it was a pleasure, my brother. We'll do it again sometime soon.
Yo, it was a pleasure, my brother. Thank you. Salute. Love.
Salute, my brother. Stay up.
Peace.
Peace.
MRecktv.